What's up, YouTube? Dubby Double's finally back in business. Here's your next Dubby's Doubles episode, and today's theme will be Gore. And the first five lists is going to be movies with excessive gore, and the second list is going to be movies with little to no gore. So let's jump right into it. My number five pick. These are my favorites. Favorite gore movies, not necessarily the best gore movies. Number five is Stuart Gordon's classic, Good Old Reanimator. It's a bloody good time. I love this movie. Jeffrey Combs. I love pretty much everything I've seen him in. It's great stuff. Blu-ray looks great, by the way, too. I think you got to kind of put yourself in the time frame with some of those older picks like that, because movies today are just a lot more gory than they were back then. So put yourself in the time when that came out, and then you'd be like, wow, that was pretty damn gory for the time. Now this one's definitely a gore fest. A nutso grindhouse pick and one of my favorites in the last 10 years. Hobo with a Shotgun. Rutger Hauer is just awesome. This is a bizarre movie, but just overall fun time. I enjoy every second of this movie. Just a blast. Highly suggested. And it's hard for me to go anywhere without throwing an Evil Dead in there. I kind of want to put the first one, but this one by far has a way better gore. And it's got a bigger budget. So it kind of comes to be expected. Evil Dead 2, Sam Raimi classic. Easily everybody's favorite in the series. So Evil Dead 2. Now, number 2. This is up there with my favorite slashers of all time. And this is my favorite gore in a slasher that I've seen. I think it's Tom Savini's best work. And that is The Prowler. 1981, just a gore fest. I love this. His effects just killed it on this. He always kills it. So great. Movies like that just make me think, we need more practical effects. We got to. And number 1, gore pick. What else could it be? Honestly, Dead Alive. Ain't much I can say about this one. Everybody knows about it. Goriest film of all time. Might very well be. If not, it's definitely my favorite gore fest. Horror comedy. Love that shit. Makes me want Peter Jackson to go back to his old stuff. Honorable mentions: Evil Dead OG and the remake. The Thing remake. Ichi the Killer. Love that shit. Zombie. New York Ripper. Vulture classic. Tenebrae, which I think is Argento's best gore that I've seen. Hellraiser 2, I think that has the best gore in the series. Midnight Meat Train. I don't hear many people talking about that one, based on a Clive Barker book. Great gore in that movie. Hatchet 2, in my opinion, the best gore in the franchise. I'm one of the few people that seem to enjoy the whole Hatchet trilogy. They're usually split and hate either 2 or they hate 3, but I like them all. Martyrs. Gory, depressing, crazy movie. The Toxic Avenger. One of the movies that really got me into the over-top gore. The movie that did get me into trauma. And Lloyd Kaufman. Poltergeist. Another crazy gore fest by Lloyd. 100 Tears. Some of the best gore I've ever seen. Recent, more indie movie. I would suggest that if you can find it for a decent price. The Beyond, another Fulci classic. Dead Snow. Scanners. Maniac. City Living Dead. Threw Antichrist on there. That movie made me just hurt watching parts of that. Feast, that is a fun ass creature feature and one of my favorites. Um, Cannibal Holocaust, Wizard of the Gore, and pretty much any Herschel Gordon Lewis. I kind of wanted to throw some Herschel Gordon on here because I mean he is the godfather of gore. Hell Driver, over the top crazy Japanese movie, just like this next one, Tokyo Gore Police, Devil's Rejects, classic, The Burning, another super bloody slasher, and a lot of the Prowler and some of those other ones. Slither, James Gunn, great movie. Dawn and Day of the Dead, Street Trash, love Street Trash. Deadly Spawn, cheesy fun time. Slime City, classic melt movie. Last House on the Left, Piranha, Necromantic, that was pretty brutal. The Rage, and Prometheus, Lord of the Living Dead. That is cheesy ass movie, but that is just a splatter fest. Bloodsucking Freaks, throw that on there. Hills Have Eyes remake. Those are both of those, and the sequel remake are super bloody. Video Violence, some shot on video, super bloody, good time. A couple I want to see is stuff like Violent Shit, all that trilogy. I think there's even 4 of them now. Bone Sickness, Ricky O, the story of Ricky, Adam Chaplin. Been want to check that out for a while now. Inside, been want to check that out. I've heard great things. And another one I forgot to mention and I just watched recently is Pieces. That's a great gore. Alright, now into my picks, non-gore, or little to no gore. So I put this one higher on the list because I think it has a little bit of gore in it, but very little. And it's rated PG, but there's a lot of nudity. Yeah, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, one of my favorite endings of all time. Love that movie. Number 2, great ghost flick, Entity. Recently checked this out because of the 22 shots of moons. I enjoyed it. Another good ghost flick, probably my favorite ghost flick of all time besides The Shining. That's George C. Scott in The Changeling. Yeah, I know this is a little beat up. I need to get a better copy of it, but this is The Changeling. I can't read it there. Alright. And one of these movies I just watched at a young age and always love and always will. Really got me into horror. This is the VHS copy. Since I was a tiny young boy. House on the Haunted Hill, man. I love this movie. That chick down there at the bottom always used to scare me. That little witch. I don't know what the hell she is, but she always used to scare me. William Castle. Can't suggest any. I can't non-suggest anything William Castle. I mean, he is just a legend in horror, in my opinion. I think more people need to know about it. And this isn't the same copy that I was talking about. This is the 70s remake, but I'm of course talking about the original silent film Nosferatu. I need to get the Criterion release because the only release I have is a Mill Creek, one of those big 50 packs. But there's something about the silent films that can really make my hair stand on end. I mean, it's one of the few horror films that can really just make me creeped out. I mean, Nosferatu, so awesome. Can't suggest the silent enough. So run back through these. Number 1, non-gore is Nosferatu. House on the Haunted Hill. Number 2, Changeling. Number 3, The Entity. Number 4, and Invasion of the Body Snatchers. This is the 70s remake. Forgot to say that. The OG is pretty cool. Number 1 on my gore list was Dead Alive. Number 2 is The Prowler. 3, Evil Dead 2. 4, classic, modern classic, Hobo with Shotgun. And number 5 is Good old Reanimator. Um, some honorable mentions of non gore. Rosemary's Baby, Diabolique. This is a silent film, I think, from the 40s. I'm going to say it's French. Great movie. People need to check that one out. The Blob, the OG. Um, I could have included the Blob remake on my gore honorable mentions. Back to the non-gores though. The Orphanage, the original Village of the Damned, Carnival of Souls, great old flick. The Haunting, the original 13 Ghosts, Devil's Backbone. I'm a big Guillermo del Toro fan. 1408 was a pretty cool little ghost flick, newer one. Repulsion, Roman Polanski. Freaks, that is a disturbing film from back in the day. The Frighteners, it's a fun Peter Jackson comedy with Michael J. Fox. And the original Wicker Man. So yeah, guys, glad to be back. I'm going to be working on a small update here soon, and finally get on some collection overview, guys. So glad to be back at it. Peace out, everybody.